You've seen them together plenty of times, but get them apart, and you might see some things you didn't expect.
You know, Velma's not the only smart one.
There's no one I'd rather work with. Oh.
Daphne, ditch the pumps.
Old Man River.
Saturday at noon, the truth is finally unmasked on those meddling kids. 25 hours of due. 25 hours of episodes, little-known facts, and first-time interviews. Only on Cartoon Network. You've seen them together plenty of times, but get them apart, and you might see some things you didn't expect.
You know, Velma's not the only smart one.
There's no one I'd rather work with. Oh.
Daphne, ditch the pumps.
Old Man River.
Welcome to those meddling kids. 25 hours of due. 25 hours of episodes, little-known facts, and first-time interviews. The truth is finally unmasked. Next on Cartoon Network.
Sure was swell of you to give us jobs as extras. Kids, I'm the grateful one. I need you because the local people won't work in this film.
Why is that, Mr. Maxwell?
Well, the local people are very superstitious. No, Carl, stop it! That's not in the script.
Help!
I don't think he heard you. He heard me, but that ape is not my stuntman.
Somebody, make him stop!
I came in to dress, and a big hairy animal grabbed me and threw me in the trunk.
Was it the ape man?
Ape man? What's going on?
An ape man of some kind sabotaged our shooting and almost hurt Candy.
The old legend, huh? It must have been him that got me.
Whatever you said, Scooby, it's working!
Sure was clever of him to lock himself in that trunk yesterday.
And tell that phony story about the ape man throwing him in there.
Well, I can't thank you kids enough.
Shaggy should get most of the credit. Where is Shaggy?
Coming up on those meddling kids, Scooby-Doo and the gang share some intimate details on what it was like getting started. Only on Cartoon Network.
Shaggy found it.
It was interesting.
Up next after the break on those meddling kids. Those Meddling Kids, Case 1. Those Meddling Kids get started.
Well, Daddy gave us the money to start off. We didn't even have a car, so we gave our parents gas money to drive us around. Look, guys, a haunted house. Yeah! Oh, right. Pull over, Daddy, pull over.
You're not going into any old dirty house, little missy.
Seeking their independence, they bought a van and called it the Mystery Machine.
Shaggy found it.
It was interesting.
It's groovy.
After that, they skyrocketed to fame, setting new precedents for the whole crime-solving industry.
We didn't wait for stuff to come to us.
We went straight out and found those monsters ourselves.
Monsters?
Coming up on those meddling kids, Case 2, Scooby, that meddling dog. You're watching those meddling kids, 25 hours of due.
He accidentally found the secret mine entrance in the old hotel safe. And instead of gold, he found oil.
He had the exact location laid out on a map.
Coming up on those meddling kids, Freddy and the other members of the gang speak out for the first time about their leader, Scooby-Doo, only on Cartoon Network.
First we were thinking, okay, a dog with an Adam's apple, a little strange.
Up next after the break on those meddling kids. Those Meddling Kids. Case 2. That meddling dog, Scooby-Doo.
Sure, at first we were thinking, okay, a dog with an Adam's apple, a little strange. We got used to it. So when he started talking, it really wasn't a big deal for us.
But despite his special gift, Scooby did have his shortcomings.
I don't think I've ever seen an animal get as scared as Scooby does sometimes.
What about Shaggy?
As the Mystery Inc. group bonded, Scooby-Doo would with soulmate Shaggy Rogers form perhaps the most enduring partnership since Holmes and Watson.
Like things just clicked, you know? Now when the gang needs bait for a villain, like they send us in, it's what we do. And I'll tell you, there's no one I'd rather work with. He said that? Oh.
You think Scooby gets scared with the monsters? Try finding him when it's time to go to the vet.
Vet?
Coming up on those Meddling Kids, Case 3, Shaggy, that meddling hippie. You're watching those Meddling Kids, 25 Hours of Dew.
Like I'm sure glad he's not seeking my super-duper sandwich.
Lucky for him. He'd probably get indigestion.
Paw, please, Scooby. Now, that's what I call handy bite size. Aye, sir. Or... Well, the seawater's boiling. I wonder what ghosts like in their stew, Scoob.
Brains?
James! Hey, yeah, ghosts like James. And, oh yeah, some ashes from the stove. You know, this could be real good.
Yeah.
Now, what else?
Scooby-Doo!
The truth is finally unmasked. Those Meddling Kids, 25 Hours of Dew, continues next. 25 hours of episodes, little-known facts, and first-time interviews. Only on Cartoon Network.
Come on, hurry! Some fishing trip this turned out to be. Like not even a nibble.
Well, it looks like Scooby isn't giving up yet. Hey, Shaggy, what kind of a creepy shortcut is Freddy taking?
Search me, but it's creepy.
Partner Zeb went into the swamp to do some frog hunting. We heard a strange noise. And that's when we saw it. Smoke of darkness, demon of evil, take the form of the living.
Yeah, like an armored type car.
Wow, look at all the sacks of money.
Like there must be $1 million in there.
So that's it. Those creeps were after this money.
Well then, let's give it to him.
Huh?
Yuck! Coming up on those Meddling Kids, Shaggy reveals all about how his love for Scooby Snacks almost hurt his career. Only on Cartoon Network.
Zoinks! I had to quit.
Up next after the break on those Meddling Kids. Those Meddling Kids, Case 3, Shaggy, that meddling hippie. The gang's most cowardly biped, Shaggy, was in fact known as Buzz until his 10th birthday.
Some people may think Shaggy because Scooby's always stealing his food. That's not it. It's because he's a vegetarian.
But as healthy as Shaggy tries to stay, he has battled unhealthy habits.
Thing is, for a few months when I was like overdoing it with the Scooby Snacks,
At one point, I calculated that he had eaten exactly 45% of his body weight.
zoinks, I had to quit.
Instead, Shaggy turned to a new hobby.
I have the largest collection of decorator belt buckles in the world. 653 at last count. I'm wearing my favorite one right now. Like it's hard to catch, but I wear a different buckle for every mystery. You just gotta pay attention.
Coming up on those meddling kids, Case 4, that meddling kid, Daphne. You're watching those meddling kids, 25 hours of due.
Time to go, gang. It's getting dark.
Hey, let's have that last clam, Scooby. Good shot. Whoa, look what that last hot dog did to me. Burglary. I knew I was sharp, but this pointed head is too much. That's no giant mouse. It's only a little mouse.
Okay, we'll keep a watch from here.
It's sure dark.
What do they call this? A stakeout? I'd rather have a steak in. Like a sirloin steak in me, that is. Yeah. There's that strange guy again.
What a time for a sideshow.
Come on, everybody, after him.
Look what he's doing. Well, would you look at that? He's getting his ears scratched.
Coming up on those meddling kids, Daphne finally comes clean about her relationship with the other members of the gang. Only on Cartoon Network.
Velma's not the only smart one. I get straight A's.
Up next after the break on those meddling kids. Those meddling kids, Case 4, that meddling kid, Daphne. Daphne Blake has become known as the most fashionable member of Mysteries, Inc. But there's more to her than appearance.
You know, Velma's not the only smart one. I get straight A's.
We've said, Daphne, we're in a muddy swamp. Ditch the pumps.
Even as a child, Daphne was interested in solving mysteries.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Daphne?
I want to be a supermodel
A supermodel?
and a detective.
Oh.
Her aspirations have had a toll on her personal life at times.
I was late joining the gang at Old Man Johnson's farm. I've lost more dates that way.
Although there have been rumors of something between Daphne and Fred.
Who told you that? We're friends.
We're friends. Scooby!
Coming up on those meddling kids, Case 5, that meddling brain, Velma. You're watching those meddling kids, 25 hours of due.
Maggie, why'd you do that?
Because I know who's stuck with the job of taking the decoy on a leash. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Now, here's a snack for you, Scooby.
Well, this is Beach Boulevard, but no sign of Shaggy and Scooby.
That transmitter on Scooby's collar is moving awfully fast. The dog nappers must have Scooby.
Come on. The coast is clear.
Where is everybody? Oh, why, Shaggy, you're petrified with fear. And you too, Scooby. Help me find my glasses.
Here they are, Velma.
Where did you find them?
Oh, it's a long story, Velma.
Stay tuned as those meddling kids continues. Only on Cartoon Network.
Your family shall suffer this terrible fate. That's when he made me an old man, as a warning to you all.
I don't see any sign of Sharon, Uncle Stuart, or the ghost.
Wow, look at all them fingerprints.
That my hand. That door.
Freddy, we got something. I thought fingerprints.
As soon as we clean him up, I'm sure you'll recognize him.
There. Look familiar?
Uncle Stewart.
Like in person. Thought he could scare you into giving up the fortune.
That ghostly wailing was only a recording.
Coming up on those meddling kids, a behind-the-scenes glimpse at Velma, who reveals she may not be so perfect after all, only on Cartoon Network.
I wonder where this Patsy...
Oh, come on, Fred. Isn't it obvious?
Up next after the break, on those meddling kids. Those meddling kids, Case 5, Velma, that meddling brain. The youngest member has certainly had a big impact on the group.
Jinkies.
Ricky!
I was so surprised. It just came out.
Jinkies, I'm getting worried about Captain Morgan.
Before, I just said, oh my. It wasn't as catchy.
Velma Dinkley's parents pushed her from an early age to excel in her studies, resulting in hundreds of awards for outstanding achievement. Because of this, she can be a bit more vocal than her comrades would like.
That harp case is big enough to hide something.
I wonder where this Patsy...
Oh, come on, Fred. Isn't it obvious?
Of course, Velma does do her share of sweet-talking, too.
Scooby, will you do it for a few Scooby snacks?
Okay.
Coming up on those meddling kids, Case 6, Fred and that meddling ascot. You're watching those meddling kids, 25 hours of due.
Hey, what's happening?
Watch it. We're gonna fall.
Thanks. I'm Max the Midget, and the big fella is Samson the Strong Man.
Glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you both. That was some accident you had.
That was no accident. Someone fixed that bike to break in half.
Who would do such a terrible thing?
Bro!
Oh, look! Hey! Stop it!
We got him! Way to go!
Good work, gang. Now we'll unmask the ghost.
You fools will never capture the ghost clown!
Coming up on those meddling kids, Fred Jones reveals some sides that we never knew existed, only on Cartoon Network.
He's really an expert at getting into the mind of a villain.
Up next after the break, on those meddling kids. Those meddling kids, Case 6, Fred and that meddling ascot.
And that thing must get steamy.
Ascot, I like how it looks.
By all counts, Fred Jones is the boy who has everything. Looks, yes, but smarts and talent too. In fact, Fred traveled with a performance troupe before devoting himself to solving mysteries.
With his dramatic training, he's really an expert at getting into the mind of a villain. Sometimes when we're scared, Fred sings a little something from Showboat. It soothes us.
Old Man River.
Fred one day hopes to be a famous mystery writer, where he can use all of his talents to the fullest.
I just really feel like I'm doing something worthwhile. For me.
Coming up on those meddling kids, Case 7, those finger-pointing villains. You're watching those meddling kids, 25 hours of due.
Okay, it might be fun.
So you want your fortunes told. Gather round, my pretties, and we'll peer into the crystal ball. Spirits rise and spirits fall. Reveal your secrets. Tell us all. Ah, yes. You children are on a pleasure trip.
You have to pull out this locking bar. Hey, stop that clowning around, Scooby. A werewolf? Hold this, friend. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Now pull the sheet out from under us. Okay, pop the chute. Just in time. Man, what a ride.
Shaggy, what do you mean riding that cart around for the fun of it?
You've seen them together plenty of times, but get them apart, and you might see some things you didn't expect.
You know, Velma's not the only smart one.
There's no one I'd rather work with. Oh.
Daphne, ditch the pumps.
Old Man River.
The truth is finally unmasked. Those meddling kids. 25 hours of due continues next. 25 hours of episodes, little-known facts, and first-time interviews. Only on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I know. And you never had a lesson in your life. Oh, moly, what's this? It's full of money. There must be thousands of dollars here. Here, hold this. Yes, you. Guard that while I go phone the gang.
Look, Scooby has a dog puppet. So this is the canine Mata Hari. What's sticking out of that puppet's stuffing? What a clue! It's the front engraving plate for a $20 bill.
It's time we wake that doorman up and tell him what's going on.
Good idea. Let's go.
Mr. Doorman, wake up! Wake up! Come on, wake up!
Coming up on Those Meddling Kids, exclusive interviews with some of the villains that have been foiled by Mysteries, Inc. Only on Cartoon Network.
In a word, anger.
Up next after the break on Those Meddling Kids. Those Meddling Kids, Case 7, Those Finger-Pointing Villains.
Would have been mine if it hadn't been to those meddling kids. Hadn't been to those meddling kids.
If it wasn't for you snoopers.
Hadn't been to those meddling kids.
You've heard it time and time again. But who said it first?
I did.
I did.
Who dares defy me?
They are the villains.
You don't learn this till you've been in the biz a while. See, the key is the hidden door.
Whoa!
Ordinary people on the wrong side of justice.
Oh, yes, I was groomed to be an astronaut. And then the monkey.
The monkey took my rightful place!
And how do they feel about Scooby and his gang?
In a word, anger. I cannot speak without my lawyer.
They could have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling... whatever.
Coming up on Those Meddling Kids, Case 8, Those Meddling Kids Together Again. You're watching Those Meddling Kids, 25 hours of due.
We have all the comforts of home.
Yeah? Who's home? Dracula's?
It's cold out there. Excuse me for interrupting, but could you put this suitcase in a safe place for me, Mr. Greenway?
Then who does?
Maybe if we ring this gong, we'll find out.
Who dares enter the temple of Fu Lun Chi?
I know this sounds silly, but we were following a snow ghost.
Yeah, and we thought he might have come in here.
Like I don't think he believes us. I'm not.
What happened?
I don't know. All I remember is fainting at the sight of Mr. Harry Scary and waking up as a goony ghost.
You must have been sprayed with some white stuff, and the water washed it off.
Wait a minute. If the snow ghost didn't really turn you into a ghost, maybe he's not a ghost either.
Stay tuned. as those meddling kids continues. Only on Cartoon Network.
We just want to buy some gasoline.
Gas, huh? I don't believe you. Now get on out of here, the lot of you.
Excuse me, sir, but why would reporters want to bother you?
They've been running me ragged ever since it showed up.
It? What's it?
A ghostly craft from another world, moving across the sky like an evil spirit.
We're in luck. It landed behind that hill.
Yeah, we're in luck. And like it's all bad.
It looked like it landed somewhere around here. What is this place anyway?
Coming up on those meddling kids, a behind-the-scenes look at the world's most famous mystery-solving team when they're not working. Only on Cartoon Network.
Watch out for paintings that blink. What is it with bad guys and portraits anyway?
Up next after the break on those meddling kids. Those meddling kids, Case 8. Those meddling kids together again. They've solved more than 200 mysteries together. What did they learn through it all?
Watch out for paintings that blink. Yeah, what is it with bad guys and portraits anyway? We haven't been in one haunted house that had a landscape on the wall.
Hey, remember the time with that evil gorilla guy?
Let me tell this. We finally catch this Joker in a gorilla suit, and he was stuck in tag. Right. And Freddy goes to pull off the mask, only it doesn't come off.
And this guy is screaming.
Like it turned out to be a real gorilla.
That's what it really comes down to. Find a mystery, run around, trap a bad guy, rip his mask
And
off.
have a bunch of fun doing it, too. I love you guys.
Knock it off.
Stay tuned as those meddling kids continues on Cartoon Network. You're watching those meddling kids, 25 hours of due.
Oh, please.
Freddy said to search the place from top to bottom. Wouldn't you know we'd be the ones to search the attic? Like this place looks like a storeroom for spider webs. Wow, a spooky room filled with haunted spider webs. Hi, kids. Uncle Happy Time here once again with your favorite dog star, King of the Wild Blue Yonder. If you don't sign the treaty, running dog, we'll take back the trinkets and beads.
They're gone. Vanished.
Come on. We've got to find him, and fast.
Stay tuned as those meddling kids continues. Only on Cartoon Network.
This is the mummy of Anka, once the most feared ruler of ancient Egypt.
Wow, he could still scare me, Professor.
Don't worry about him, Daphne. Anka is over 3,000 years old.
That's funny. He doesn't look a day over 2,000 to me.
Professor and Dr. Najib.
Dr. Najib! We found him, solid as a rock.
Poor Scooby. Scooby! Like, wow! Too late. He's gone to that big boneyard in the sky.
Oh?
Now let's see who's really behind these bandages.
Dr. Najib!
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We've got some work to do now.